Hello and welcome to a quick patch preview. I want to talk about the new missions and also new map modes that I brought along today. Let's start with the map modes. And at the bottom right, we already had in the last version some quick map modes. For example, the deposits were there already. And we expanded that into diverse amounts of different map modes. For example, one of my favorites here, the potential map mode for farmland, showing you in your country. You can of course also change the scope if you want to, the farmland which is still available and can be invested into. And you also have that kind of max farmland here, so where are provinces with a lot of farmland, which is a global map mode here by default. But there are a lot of other things available, migration and population map modes or amenities map modes, but also things like prices and trade balances and things like that. So that will help you to see things on a quick glance if you want to. Of course, you can still use the special map modes decision here to make your own in whatever you want. But for most of us, these will be quite enough for the daily doing when you play a campaign here. And now to the highlight of this preview here is the new mission tree for Naples, which is designed to be a new player mission tree so that it guides you through elements of the game which are very different to the normal EU4 and also gives you incentives in what to do. So for example, we do have things like the auto investor, which happens early on in January when it gets set up, explaining you what it does and what you could set up, for example, and what it will do. But also for every mission that is in here, you will get advice, like what does it do and what will you get from it, and also consequences, what will it result into. So for example, here it's about revoking a court privilege from the nobility. What will it do? It will decrease autonomy and so on, but it will of course cost you a lot of loyalty from the estate, and it will not really have a lot of immediate effects. It's all part of weakening the nobility over time. And that principle is more or less going through all the missions that are in here. So even the expansion missions, like going into Albania here, has hints and consequences what it will do here for you and what it might yield into. And you also have things like the stabilization mission here for Sicily. After you reconquered it, you get missions here which are all designed to building up Sicily as a new economic base for you, because it can be quite rich. But also you have things like building up your capital here, and what will it do if you upgrade your harbor riches in your capital, for example. And of course it's very expensive, as one of the consequences says here. And you also have missions like the higher learning one here, where you get hints toward what you should open up and what you need to do for the next institution, which is casual literacy, which is not unlocked. The already unlocked one is the commercialization, which you still need to get into your country, but it's spreading naturally, and you can do things to speed it up. And also you have a branch of missions here regarding state reach. The upper ones here were regarding getting to aristocracy, so weakening the nobility. This branch here is about strengthening the state and building a nice Renaissance pre-modern state. Then you have some more expansion missions here, like into Greece and Sicily and into the Kingdom of Africa here in Tunisia. And also then some Italian ambitions here. So for example, papal relations, but also vassalizing the Pope, but also going into the Marché, whatever area here, which has nice cities that you can vassalize and take over. And last, we have some missions which are like a mixed bag, which are about loyalties of estates and what could you get from them. For example, if you leverage them, it's a bit about trade, and also like things if you reform that you can do grain doles and tax cuts, which exactly explains what you need to do to find them. So for example, interact with the commoners here and then go to the tax exemptions here. Oh, it's text relief. I even have to rename it. But grain dole, for example, here, grain for the commoners. Yeah, so things are explained here. I'm still prepping up the localization here, so the text files and everything, to make it as good as possible and as explanatory as possible, because, well, I know the mod, but new players might have questions, so I'm collecting feedback in anything, and soon it will be playable for you, and then you can also give me more feedback and what might be missing here. But yeah, that's it for today in the preview here, and soon you can play this. Leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.